Didcot training's been going since 2002, and we work with young people aged from 11 to 18 in Didcot and the immediate surrounding villages. We focus mostly on those young people who are vulnerable or in need of support, and typically they might be having a tough time with things. School life might be proving too much. Home life might be challenging. Relationships might be hard to build and maintain. It might be being distracted or worse, misled. Might be being misled into risky behaviours and into risky areas, which would be damaging. And there are often multiple and different challenges taking place, often at the same time. And we're basically there to go and find those people, meet their needs by offering guidance. I mean, everybody, I think every adult needs someone they can go to for help in a listening ear. And we basically get out there, build trust with these young people. If they need us, let them know where we are, and then we offer alternative positive activities, alternatives away from negative riskier things. And the ultimate goal is to keep our young people safe, help them to grow and mature in a protected environment, and develop them so that they ultimately will fulfill their potential and have a positive impact on the community. All of those activities are done face to face. So, and they're all about having contact. So the challenge that COVID-19 gave us was, what can we do regards digital? It was clear that there were some things we had to stop, most things that we could switch to digital. And we, in the early days, were able to put more effort into detached and outreach, which is basically on the streets, in the parks, in places that the young people will assemble. But as as we're tracking, following the government broadcast every day, then that move to detached and outreach was shut down, and we had to go everything towards digital. And so most of what we do that we decided we can shift to digital does translate. Some of it doesn't. So for instance, what translates really easily is one-to-one mentoring. It really works well. And we found, even for a first-time connection, that, like Justina leads on this, and she is excellent. And she can make the progress first time with a young person that she'd make with a young person face-to-face. It's the first week that we switched all the activities to digital, we saw 50 new young people. So wow. We were absolutely thrilled. But if you look now, sort of 6 weeks on, it's really challenging for the staff and also young people. The staff have to be really dynamic about what they offer. And so the sort of things they're doing are trying to make the work they do really topical. So for instance, last Wednesday was Earth Day. So the staff worked hard on things around carbon footprint, things around environmental issues, things around species, things around sustainability. And then we've done some work with a street artist from New York called Tommy Watkins. And so we built in some artwork into some of those sessions, and they got really well responded to. Another thing that's really important with the young people is, if they don't have a rhythm to their day, if they don't have a routine to their day, they'll end up sleeping in bed till the afternoon. Things that Charlotte P did was that she did a daily planner with them. So did it online and showed them how you can do a daily planner from rising to sleeping, and then sort of made it, our young people tend to be competitive, and then made it quite competitive. So sending photos to her and show them how they've structured their day. And so that's gone. There's some really good examples of how people have embraced that, and they've therefore been able to plan routine in, which is very positive. And one of my lead roles is stakeholder engagement, and funnily enough, I'm an accredited person on collaboration. So there is a British standard 11,000. So it's very natural for me to reach out. So like, we collaborate with, and have collaborated for years, basically, with great organizations like Sophia. They're amazing. We signpost young people to them in terms of education. We've been working for quite some time on a CIO submission for Didcot, which we up to now called Didcot Community Association. We're now calling Didcot Community Partnership. And in there, we've got a lot of the organisations that we collaborate with, like SoHart are brilliant. Didcot First are brilliant. Didcot Town Council make their contribution. There's other people in there who are known for their great works around the town. So it's like natural for us to class. Obviously, our front of house volunteers have to have enhanced DBS checks. The back office need DBS checks. So with the front of house volunteers, it's been actually going digital has been a little bit harder to get them as involved as we normally would do. Normally, like, they'll go out on the streets with us and they help us to deliver then that service at the lowest possible costs. And with some of the digital, it's just not quite so easy to get them actively in. So we're more about, we do collaboration and stakeholder engagement as part of our business as usual, as opposed to really being able to maximize on that through COVID-19. The Net Fund was really timely because we've been looking to do an upgrade to our website for quite some time. It's got some quite unusual mechanics that work behind the screen, and sometimes it can end up showing old photographs. How did they appear? So we thought we were going to get a couple of volunteers to build for us, but every time it fell down. So we managed to get a guy who would give us some mates rates, and so the net monies has gone towards rebuilding the website, which is underway as we speak. We narrowed it down to 3, and then we opened up a selection process to what do you like and why. So just like we do, and we do that with all things we do that with, like at the moment, with the Instagram polls on what do you want for the young people to make sure we're delivering what they want. They take part in interview selection processes with us. When we're recruiting a youth worker, we always get them to do a session with them, and then they've actually learned to give magnificent feedback. We get them to take part in the interview panel. So as much as we can, we give them every experience that we can of actually taking accountability for budgets and programs, helping to plan the major half-term and full-term activity programs that we intensively plan. I think in the lessons learned, we'll definitely maintain some of, I feel that some of those things you do in a crisis are often the best things to do anyway. So if you think about, like, the perfect example I have for that is the one-to-one mentoring. It's worked like a dream. Other stuff, if you think, you imagine dinner and debate, which we do. Dinner and debate is a magnificent activity. If I just tell you quickly about that, what we do is we create a family atmosphere for the young people. We get them all around a table and we pick a topic that they've either chosen or is really topical. It might be terrorism, it might be drugs, it might be smoking, it might be something to do with the environment or even their community. And once the subject starts getting discussed, we teach the young people to listen and to also put forward your point of view and to adapt your opinions. And then we go across to Greg's the Bakers and they give us food, and then they bring back food, and it goes like, it's been something we introduced last year and it's brilliant. But what happened with that on digital was, it's really amusing, was the young people expected Greg's to turn up at the door and deliver all the food. So you can't beat that, but face to face you can't beat either. But some of these ways of working are going to work. Young people found their voice when they could be anonymous. So some of the opinions they put forward, the team was saying that person would not have contributed in a face-to-face environment. So I just want to say thanks ever so much for the support we get from OCF. It does make an enormous difference when you are giving, and to know that people are on your side and they're backing you, it makes an enormous difference. So thank you very much.